Joe Bart, Queso, Jinxie, Your Rage, Adapt, Lacey, Barlin, Ron. There's so many streamers that are on such a good run right now. Annie Devera included. Sorry. These streamers, you can say that half of them are cringe or they make cringe moments. I can understand that. But they are doing so good with the things that they are producing right now. They are having generational streams. They are having such entertaining segments. And I think that all these streamers that were focusing on clip farming are slowly starting to fall back into actual, genuine content, especially Core. When they were in FaZe, all they would do is sit and clip farm. Now they're actually making entertaining videos, entertaining segments. And I'm not one to sit here and watch a stream, to each their own. I'm a streamer. I like when people watch my streams, but I like producing the product. I don't like watching streams. But when I am not streaming or editing or doing something like that, watching one of the segments that these people produce, it is so funny. Like for the past few months, I've been watching Joe Bart's VODs just non-stop. Everything in them is entertaining and funny. I watched all 3 of his Mafia games. Mafia 1, Mafia 2, and the Old Country. And I had a blast the entire time I was watching them. I would watch them in between when I was eating or doing something. Sitting and watching the whole VOD is crazy. And people do that though. And I don't blame them, because it's just like a Netflix show. These people get you hooked so badly into their Twitch streams and into their VODs, and I don't know how they do it. I think my streams are entertaining, they just haven't caught on yet, but seriously, these people just have very good charisma, and I'm just glazing the shit out of them. But I just wanted to talk about the state of streaming right now. I think it's on a very good path. I think LARPing is the most dead joke right now. It is worse than 6-7. All the people that are LARPing and copying streamers, it's not going to go anywhere. It's not going to work out. I never found it funny in the beginning. People thought it was hilarious. And I think the same people who find 6-7, the Wilted Rose, this emoji funny, that's the same people who thought LARPing was funny. Jinxie's stream with Stable Ronaldo, the Minecraft marathon, that was so funny. I watched the hour-long bedtime segment that Stable Ronaldo posted, and I watched it twice. Pause. That is crazy. I watched 2 men in a bed for 2 hours since I watched the video twice. It was just that funny. It was really just that funny. There is nothing that beats streams that feel like hanging out with your homies. And that is a crazy, what do you call it? Parasocial shit. But no, it's not parasocial. When you watch something, you want to relate to it. When you watch One Piece, you want to relate to Luffy. You're like, shit, I want to be king of the pirates. When you watch any anime, you feel the emotion. And the emotion that you get from these streams is wow. Me, Jinxie, and Ron, we're having fun. No. Even though it's not you, you feel included in it. You feel like you're really sleeping with 2 other men. Type shit. No homo. Pause. That's Glips. And it just adds so much to the effect of the stream. Sitting there, sitting down, and watching this video, I felt like I was actually there, and it was hilarious to me. It was hilarious. It's like when you're sitting with your homies, and they just say the stupidest shit in the world, and you're just like, That's how streams should feel. They shouldn't feel scripted. They shouldn't feel just over the top. Late night streams are some of the best. The ones that actually feel like a late night stream, just like unscripted, unplanned. That is the best form of streaming. And I know that the highly edited and IShowSpeed streams is what a lot of people like, but I don't know. In my opinion, streaming's best form and YouTube's best form is unedited, entertaining content of someone being themselves. That's why most of my videos and most of my streams are just me being myself. It's not me talking about a potato ball, but it's actually a sugar ball. That's a crazy clip. And I can understand clips, but there's just something about unedited raw content. That's the thing that hits with me, and I think a lot of people can agree with that. But as I was saying, even if you don't watch these streamers or you dislike them, Kai Cenat and his Drewski Kevin Hart stream was hilarious. That was so funny. 8-hour long VOD, and I watched the whole thing. And it has the same feeling of hanging out with your homies. That is the feeling that relates you and puts you in there and makes you funny. Makes you laugh. It's very funny and entertaining to watch streams like that. That's why I stopped watching Kai Cenat after he got bigger, because he stopped being just him and Duke Dennis laughing their ass off in Kai's bedroom to just straight up performances. It stops being raw and just like unpredictable stuff, and it becomes a performance. What can get us the most views if clipped? What can get us the most views if seen? What can relate to everyone? And if you're not sitting there watching the stream, most of the clips aren't gonna work. But they do work in this instance that it's like, oh, it's supposed to be like this. It's supposed to be like that. It shouldn't be all about the money. But unfortunately, that's how the streaming space is. Once you get a lick of money, you're like, man, I need all of that shit. I'd never be like that, though. On par with those streams is Jynxzi's streams and Queso's streams. They're just so raw, unplanned content. I like Joe Bart because I had to add the last name so you know who I'm talking about. What if I'm talking about Joe Fart? That was so unfunny. Joe is very scheduled with his streams. He even wanted to teach a class in Streamer University, yeah, I know, ball knowledge, about how you can schedule 4 streams. Because scheduling is a huge part of business. And you can call it a business because it's technically your job, but that doesn't mean you're trying to make money all the time. Something can be your job, but you still enjoy and have passion for it. It's okay to call streaming your job or content creation your job, as long as you don't try to monetize all the entertainment. You should be yourself, and people give you money because you're yourself and because they enjoy who you are. But Joe schedules his stuff, and even though it's planned, you know exactly what stream to tune into, you know exactly what to watch. However, all of it is unscripted. There's no scripts and all that. I don't know if you ever watched Patty Mayo on YouTube. He's this like a bondsman. He pretends to be a bondsman to go collect bonds, like people with money on their head, bounties basically. He's a bounty hunter. And so he would go and he would capture these people, arrest them, and it's like, oh my god, this is so cool. Like, why didn't they ever do this before? I was 12 at the time, bro. I ain't know. It was all fake. It was all fake. And as soon as something becomes fake, it loses its charm. And I feel like you get more charm the more raw you can be, but also entertaining. And these streamers, including me, hit it on the head. They nail it. Because they are entertaining while also being as raw as they can be. Like, half the moments are just pure emotion. It's not like, yeah, you need to say this, and this. Act like a low tier god. Yep, go to kick.com, gamble. It's like, it's not monetizing it anymore. It's not playing a character. This is my character. However, it doesn't affect my personality. It's just what I wear. High production stuff is what gets you mainstream. But the more raw stuff is what gets you long-term viewers. Like, I played Roblox for the longest time. I had thousands of fans. And then as soon as I stepped away from it, they weren't there. There was zero viewers. Because of the fact that when you monetize something that's high production, high entertainment, you monetize something specific. And then once that something specific is gone, there's nothing left. And that is the issue with not being yourself on stream. Because as soon as that character is gone, no one wants to watch. That's why the best monetizable way and the best, most entertaining thing to connect with your viewers is to be yourself. And all these streamers with their segments are just going over the top right now. It is so good right now. I think streaming is the best it is and might be the best it ever will be until I get famous. Jinxie with his Elden Ring stream, that was hilarious. I actually watched for 2 hours, and thank God he streams on YouTube because I could actually watch. The Jinxie and Dantas stream, I think, is stepping a little bit too far into the production because they are just straight up, like, fucking, like, touching each other inappropriately for stream, and it's a little uncomfortable. Little uncomfortable. But I think the whole streaming space is doing good right now, and kudos to all the people that are sticking to it, and always chase your dreams, because who knows? Me or you could be the next streamer. You could be the next entertainment. You could be the next one to provide a community a spotlight for everyone to see while providing entertainment. And that is the goal, and that should be the goal of streaming. To keep this space, not do hot tub streams, not do gambling streams, not promote bad shit, just put a safe environment for people to have entertainment. Anyways, I just wanted to rant about the streaming space. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Also, check out my Twitch, twitch.tv/AnnieDeVera. Peace out, Annites. Peace out.